She framed me for a crime I didn't commit, but karma was recording the whole time. You can't frame innocence and expect silence. I had lived in this neighborhood for 5 peaceful years, or at least it used to be peaceful before Karen crowned herself the queen of the HOA. You could be breathing, and she'd find a violation to slap on your door. Grass too tall? Fine. Trash cans out 10 minutes late? Fine. Breathing too loudly near her begonias? Probably a fine. I tried ignoring her nonsense until the afternoon I walked into an HOA meeting and found her hands deep in the association's petty cash. I hadn't planned to make a scene. I only brought up my neighbor's concern about missing landscaping funds. But when I opened the folder of reports, the math didn't add up. Receipts bore her handwriting, and one invoice matched a floral order from her sister's boutique. Karen laughed it off, tried to wave me away with that smug, queen-of-the-block smile, but I stood up, spread the papers across the table, and told everyone the truth. The look on her face, that flash of shock before rage, told me this was far from over. The next morning, signs about protecting neighborhood standards appeared on every mailbox, and my inbox filled with emails accusing me of being disrespectful and disruptive. Karen's whisper campaign spread fast. Suddenly, people I'd shared barbecues with avoided eye contact. Then came the fake cease and desist letter to my landlord, claiming I ran an illegal business from my house. Inspectors showed up, and I spent my weekend proving I wasn't running a black market warehouse. That was the breaking point. I confronted Karen on her porch, and she snapped. Not petty fines this time, she wanted me gone. I told her I had receipts, screenshots, witnesses, everything. She smiled like a cornered animal and said, "We'll see about that." Her tone chilled me. She wasn't bluffing. 3 days passed. The neighborhood fell eerily quiet. No warning notes, no angry emails, not even the sight of her stalking the sidewalks. It was the silence before a storm. Then, at 6:17 a.m., red and blue lights flashed through my blinds. Loud pounding shook the front door. When I opened it, 3 officers stood there, serious, hands on their belts. Behind them stood Karen, robe tied dramatically, pretending to be half asleep and worried. "Sir," one officer said, "we received an anonymous tip about illegal substances in this residence. We need to search the premises." My stomach dropped. "Illegal substances? You've got to be kidding me. I don't even take aspirin without Googling side effects." Karen gasped behind them, hand to her chest. "We're just trying to keep the neighborhood safe," she said like some suburban saint. The officers had a warrant. I couldn't stop them, but my blood boiled as they stepped in, boots on my rug, hands rummaging through my things. Every drawer opening felt like a slap. Every cupboard slammed like an accusation. I caught Karen smirking before she quickly wiped it off. That was when anger turned into realization. She had planted something. "If there's anything you want to tell us before we find it, now's the time," the lead officer said. My heart pounded. "Find what?" Then came the voice from down the hall. "We've got something." He walked in holding a plastic bag filled with white powder. My breath vanished. Karen gasped theatrically. "Oh my, I can't believe it." I could believe every second of it. She had planted that bag. But to the cops, it looked like I was caught. "You're under temporary detention for possession of illegal narcotics," the officer said, pulling out cuffs. I stumbled back, furious. "Those aren't mine." "I don't even know what that is." My voice cracked between rage and disbelief. Karen stood outside pretending to cry while neighbors peeked through blinds, some filming, some whispering. Humiliation burned like acid. The cuffs clicked, the car door slammed, and my world tilted. The police station was cold, sterile, and way too bright. I sat there on a metal bench, adrenaline still burning through me. I kept replaying it, her smirk, that fake gasp, the bag she must have planted. Hours crawled by. I wasn't afraid as much as furious. What kind of person goes that far just to destroy someone? The door finally opened. A detective stepped in, followed by my next-door neighbor, Mr. Hayes. He held up a small USB drive. "Check this," he said. "My doorbell camera caught something last night." The detective plugged it in. The footage rolled. There she was, Karen, creeping up my walkway at midnight, gloved, holding a small plastic bag, kneeling at my door with a set of lockpicks glinting under the porch light. She slipped inside, disappeared for a few minutes, then reemerged empty-handed. The detective's expression hardened. Before I could process relief, another neighbor, Allison from across the street, walked in. Karen asked me last week if I knew anyone who sold pills. Said it was for her nephew. I thought she was joking. The pieces clicked together like glass shards. She had planned it all. The detective looked at me. You're free to go. That sentence hit harder than the cuffs ever did. When I got home, police cars were parked outside Karen's house, lights flashing in the pale morning sun. Neighbors lined the sidewalks, phones out. Karen stood on her porch, still clutching her coffee mug, trying to look innocent. Ma'am, an officer said, we need you to come with us for questioning. She forced a laugh. Is this a joke? He's the criminal, not me. The officer didn't argue. He pressed play on a tablet, showing her own face on Mr. Hayes's footage. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Oh my God, someone whispered. Karen froze. Her lips trembled. The officer listed her charges, filing a false police report, trespassing, tampering with evidence, and possession of a controlled substance. Her voice broke into a scream. You don't understand. He was ruining everything. I was protecting this neighborhood. No one spoke. The same neighbors she used to bully now watched silently as she was cuffed on her pristine porch. The video spread fast. Facebook groups, local news, even memes. HOA president caught planting drugs on resident. By noon, the HOA board dissolved. Sponsors pulled out. Her husband moved out. Her car got repossessed. The empire she built on fear collapsed overnight. I pressed charges, breaking and entering, defamation, emotional harm. My lawyer smiled like Christmas came early. The judge didn't go easy. 8 years in prison, $250,000 restitution, and a permanent record that would follow her forever. When I walked out of that courthouse, the air felt lighter, cleaner. Some neighbors apologized. Some brought cookies. Some just said they should have believed me sooner. I didn't hold a grudge. I'd already won. Justice doesn't always come quietly. Sometimes it rings your neighbor's doorbell and records everything.